you about a new Bullseye pistol coming from Pardini. Okay, please.
Well, I shot the old version, which is just a standard Pardini SP. I think that version was the best Bullseye pistol in the market, just because I've always had problems with 22s functioning, and I'm really picky on triggers. And the Pardini trigger functionality is pretty incredible compared to normal triggers out there, because you have all this adjustment range. You can move the trigger shoe forward, backward, left, right, up, down, and you can have true adjustments for first stage length of travel, first stage weight, second stage length of travel, second stage weight, and over travel. I'm real picky in over travel, so that's an important thing for me. So you have the best trigger you can get. You have a grip design that allows you, if you want to build an orthopedic grip that fits your hand right, and allows you to shoot well, easier, less effort. That's why you have a good grip. You have the option of iron sights, and good iron sights that allow you to adjust the width of the notch, good repeatable adjustments. Of course, most of the time at Camp Perry, I shoot iron sights for a living in the Olympics, so when I go to Camp Perry, I want to have fun. I shoot with a dot or a scope. So the new thing is the barrel. The barrel is the new part of it. One of the things I wanted to do that I'd asked Pardini to do for bullseye shooting specifically was to make the barrel a little bit longer. I like a heavy gun, or at least the ability to make the gun heavier. I like the balance of a longer gun. And honestly, having a little bit longer barrel theoretically should be a little bit more accurate. The standard Pardini, the way that I shot it at Camp Perry, has to fit inside of a box, and that's of certain dimensions. That comes from the Olympics. There's regulations on that. For Camp Perry style shooting, for NRA conventional pistol shooting, there's no such regulation. So you can make it as long as you want to. You can add things like compensators, which reduce recoil. So this one is, you see these two ports up here. There's a compensating chamber up here, which that just reduces recoil. I'm not going to have one of those because I like recoil. So I shoot 45.
But it's available.
But it's available, and it's a good thing for those who need less recoil for time and rapid fire, or even for slow fire. It's a possibility. I'm going to get one, so without that, it's going to be for the same length barrel. You see that here's a shroud that doesn't have those compensator ports. It's just a little bit shorter, like a centimeter or so shorter, something like that. This is what I'm going to get, I'm hoping.
You will.
So you have a little bit longer barrel, theoretically a little bit more accurate. You're going to have more flexibility to adjust the weight of it with removable weights. It's becoming closer and closer to the perfect bullseye pistol.
And we were discussing with Pete and Pardini. That's what I love about this company, is listening to the shooters. And we're discussing eventually Picatinny rail on the shroud. Can you tell us more about it?
Yeah, so this is a version of basically a current technology Picatinny rail, scope rail that would be mounted to the shroud that would cantilever it back over the receiver. So this is one possible option in the future that we're Pardini is exploring. I'm just saying what I want. So this allows you to take the barrel on and off. Let's say if you wanted to shoot different styles of competition, you wanted to shoot rapid fire, international style, or women's sport pistol or something one day, and the next day shoot a bullseye match, you can have your bullseye barrel, take it off with the scope, retaining your zero, and shoot that. You want to shoot between 32 and 22 for center fire and 22 in a 2700 match. When you change the barrel out in your 32 kit, your zero is retained with that. So that's an important thing, especially you don't want a whole bunch of lines on your scope that get you confused. Oh, that's my 50-yard zero for 32, this is my 50-yard zero for...
And then it turns out to use somewhere else.
Yeah. So I like that functionality a lot. That's a requirement in my eyes. I would like to, the way I'm probably going to do it, I'm going to ask for, we'll see what happens, for the Picatinny rail, the scope rail to be integral to the shroud in front. And what I'll do is I'll just mount my Ultra Dot with just two rings right here, where the Ultra Dot itself will cantilever back. And the scopes are strong enough where they can take, it's not like I'm doing a bayonet assault course with it or anything. So,
and it's 22 recoil.
It's even 32 recoil, it's not that bad. Even 45, it's going to hold the scope with everything you need to. What I also like to have my scope further forward, so that works out for me as well. That puts my balance point a little bit further forward, and also what it does is it makes the scope tube appear to be smaller, so I have less stuff to align. So the way I look at it is I have a round scope tube, and there's a round dot in it, and there's a round black circle down there I want to put shots in the middle of, and I just line up all those circles, and it makes my job easier. So if I'm a little bit unsteady, which is more often than not, all I gotta do, I think about, I'm gonna put that big black circle inside of this tube. And I center that, and I can do that without being too much unstableness. And then all I try to do is I try to keep that dot in the middle, and then the dot's in the middle of the circle as well, so it works out. So if I have that smaller circle, by moving the scope further forward, it's a benefit for me in the way that I think about shooting with a scope or a dot sight. So that's why I'd like to have it a little further forward. I have no compensator because I don't have the scope like right over there. You need a compensator to do more push-ups.
So that's the new, and it's going to be available in a few months, hopefully with different variations of it to answer the questions and the requests of different array of shooters out there.
And the balance I like the balance a lot. I like a heavier gun typically, but the balance of this is really nice. There are some things, because it is a lot bigger looking than the old one. I used to be concerned about wind. Cape Fear can be very, very windy. Actually blowing the pistol left and right, and to be honest with you, this is embarrassing, but I've actually shot better with a Pardini in the wind for slow fire and whatnot than I have with a lot smaller guns. And then I came to the realization that the wind blows you a lot more than it blows the gun. So it's better to have a gun that fits you the correct way with a good trigger that shoots straight, that functions all the time, than give up a little bit. And the wind doesn't blow that much, so I don't think that's, in reality, it's not an issue. I know that's a concern that some people might. I used to have that concern, and it's
I know
not a
it
concern
blows
at all.
there, but
it definitely blows there. But it blows you a lot
steady,
more.
But it's steady, so.
Even when it's gusty, it blows you a lot more than it blows the gun. And by having a gun that's like balanced the right way, it allows you just to balance to suit your needs, to have a good grip and a good trigger, it makes the wind blow a little bit less. It doesn't make it stop, it makes it blow a little bit less.
Thank you, Keith. Nice talking to you.